For the next 3 months, 62 healthcare professionals from Cuba will be living in Belize, supporting our local health system as the country fights the COVID-19 pandemic. On Wednesday, a chartered flight with the first cohort touched down at the Philip Goldson International Airport. They disembarked, ready to be deployed to respective medical facilities.
We want to have them in Belize City and for the isolation and ICU unit in KHMH. I think that is where we need it most. Around the country, like I spoke to the ambassador from Cuba, we also have brigades here that are working with us. We already know the listing and which specialty they have, and they will be able to be deployed anywhere else in the country that we need them. But this is the first group of 62 medical officers. 32 of them are here, and it feels a relief for all of us for us to be able to count on Cuba.
According to head of the Cuban Medical Brigade, Dr. Rogel Luis Ramirez, one of the characteristics of the Cuban Revolution is to help other countries in need of medical support. The principles that they teach their medical doctors and healthcare professionals are humanity and solidarity to others. Like Belize, Dr. Ramirez says that the few confirmed cases in Cuba were imported.
Nuestro país en estos momentos está en la primera fase.
Our country, Cuba, is in the first stage of the facing the pandemic. So we are at the first stage. The cases that we have are basically imported. I mean, people that have been traveling, foreigners, and then they've been, so there are few cases in Cuba. We are following the protocol for the stage one, basically. That's what we are doing in Cuba.
The medical professionals were then transported to their individual quarters that will be home to them for the next 3 months in the first instance, such as the Radisson Fort George in Belize City. That, along with a number of donations from Lord Michael Ashcroft, the Taiwanese government and businesses, will assist with the medical response.
I want to give thanks right now publicly to Ashcroft. He has donated $10 million right now directly to the Ministry of Health for whatever need we want. He has also donated the Fort George area, the hotel, for us to be able to host these people free of cost. This is something that the people need to do. This, again, I mentioned, no political, no fighting between us. It is us joining together for the cause of our Belizean people, and that is what we're doing.
This is the 25th anniversary of diplomatic ties between Cuba and Belize, but medical brigades have been in country since the early 1980s. CEO Duane Burns of the Foreign Ministry says a token of appreciation was returned to Cuba.
There was a very kind group of business people, and we'll share the list with you of their names after, headed by Mr. Dinesh Bojwani, who in a matter of hours secured assistance in the form of donations of sheets and towels and soap and other things to go to Cuba so that it wasn't one way. So we know that there is an economic blockade in Cuba. We know that it is difficult, so it would not have been right for Belize to ask for equipment. But what they offer is expertise. What they offer is human capacity. And we offered what we could in terms of whatever we could put on that plane to fill it, to show as an act of goodwill. And my thanks to those business people who acted so fast and said to me, when I said, you know, we really need to recognize you, they said, you know, it's our duty. We have to do this in solidarity because these people are helping us. And never forget that they've left their families, as Minister said, their young ones, at a time where everything is uncertain.
Duane, Moody for News 5.